Hiya, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch this video. This video is going to be all about dopamine, which is obviously a neurotransmitter that actually occurs in the brain. I'm just going to talk about what dopamine does and why it is so important to people, especially if, like me, you suffer with OCD or any other kind of mental illness. Um, like I said, dopamine, it's very much like serotonin. It's something that our body, it's something that our brain actually needs, and it's very important that we actually have this transmitter, if you like, this chemical in our brain. Yeah. What it does is it basically dopamine is basically what they call the happy. It's like the thing in our mind that makes us happy, and obviously if we have low levels of it, obviously it's going to lead to us being sad. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I do know where I've obviously been researching for my own mental illness. This dopamine, it seems to keep on, everything you watch, every article you read, all they keep talking about is these neurotransmitters that are in our brain. Now, um, obviously, we have to be guided, if you like, by these people who are more educated than us, and that's obviously what I've been doing. I've been doing everything I can to try and make, if you like, produce more of this transmitter that hopefully is responsible for actually making us feel better and more happier. Obviously, there's different ways that this can actually you can actually make your body produce more of this, and that is obviously your diet. There's certain foods that you can eat that can obviously help to actually make your body produce more of this chemical in your brain. There's obviously sunlight. I know with serotonin, but all these what I call them happy chemicals. Yeah. Apparently, sunlight, obviously being in direct sunlight and actually receiving ultraviolet rays, that's going to actually make you feel better. Exercise, doing as much as you can, exercising. These are all things that are going to help us raise our dopamine levels. Um, I was just watching a video the other day all about dopamine and about how if you sometimes it's difficult if you're feeling unmotivated, which I am at the minute. Apparently, if you can just make yourself sometimes do something, make yourself go to the gym, make yourself go for a walk. Um, this then hopefully will give you enough of a rise, if you like, to obviously make you go and do it again. So it's I know it's hard though. Sometimes people say things and like sometimes you think it's very easy for them to say. But I think what we've got to try and do, if you're watching this video and like I say, you are suffering from some sort of mental illness, is to look at things you can do gradual, if you like, to try and help bring yourself back to obviously a better state. This is what I'm doing now. If you see my other videos, you'll know that I'm always on the search for ways to help my body, and more importantly, my mind actually improve. Um, Depression, I think. I mean, I've done videos about serotonin, dopamine. This is all what's responsible for our low mood. And obviously, if you have got a low mood, it makes it harder then to go and do something even more. So then it becomes, a kind of like a vicious spiral. But like I say, this video is about dopamine. It's from what I've been reading about, and like I say, articles I've been reading about. This is something. These neurotransmitters in your brain, they are so important. One thing I do know, and not, I think it affects dopamine the same way, is sunlight, and I've spoke about it in my other videos about sunlight, about how when you spend more time in the sun, how you for what why is it when you're spending more time in the sun, you seem to feel happier? I mean, there must be something in it, and that's why I'm putting a lot of I'm attaching a lot of weight, if you like, and a lot of hope, if you like, to this. Whereby, you know, I know that for me, I've done videos about it where, for me, when winter's come, I've just gone downhill. I've just, you know, my mind, everything about me as a person, I seem to operate at about 70% of what I'm capable of, and there must be something in this. So, I really suggest, like I say, you're obviously searching about what dopamine's about. You know, you need to understand that from my point of view, it is a very, very dopamine, serotonin, you know, all these, there's three or four that affect our brain. If you're lacking in any one of these, it's going to have a detrimental effect on your overall ability to get better. So, I talk about in my other videos about how I try and, if you like, tackle my illness with every single weapon available. And you know, these things that we can actually make by eating the right foods and by perhaps doing moderate exercise, if we can increase these naturally occurring um, chemicals in our brain which make our body react in different ways, then that's obviously got to be one course of action we have got to take, and it's one course of action I am taking. I've been eating more vegetables lately, oranges, vitamin C. I eat a lot of nuts anyway because you know, there's nuts are good for you. There's also something called if I can remember, tyrosine or something like that, which occurs, which makes these other chemicals in your brain work better or makes them able to work. So it's a minefield. I think you really, and what I'm going to look at in the new year, when I get a bit more money and I'm able perhaps to spend a bit more money on some better food, I'm gonna look to perhaps getting some of these, looking at ways, not taking, I'm not taking weight loss shakes or anything like that, even though there are some out there which I have tried and are quite good. Um, but looking at ways of doing my own like smoothies and things like that. Yeah, doing some, like, you know, getting all the things that are good for you. You know what I mean? There's certain fruits, you know, like kiwi fruits and I think avocados. There's some of these things have got things in them which are going to make your body perform better, and obviously you're going to feed your mind. And I think it's sad though, because obviously there's a lot of people out there who, if you like, are suffering from one illness to another. That obviously we're not able to afford these nice smoothies and like different things. But I think we've got to do what we have got to do is perhaps put aside other things that are not important and make these make these things that are going to be better a priority in our life. And that's what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? I'm usually a very outgoing person. I'm usually, like, you know, like, kind of like the life and soul of the party, and it's really frustrating. And you'll know if you've got what I've got or any other sort of condition, you obviously appreciate how frustrating this is, because it's almost like an invisible, paralysing phenomenon, if you like. That's what it's like for me, and I'm doing everything I can to make myself feel better. I'm looking at every way. You know, I've done a video recently about these lamps you can get now. Now these lamps, they're called sad lamps. You have them in your house, and they give off artificial light, and they help your mind to produce these these fantastic chemicals, if you like. You know what I mean? Pity you can't take a pill and just have them. But I'm guessing that's what I mean. I take antidepressants, and I know the antidepressants that I take are supposed to help your mind and produce serotonin, which is obviously another neurotransmitter. But I think ending this video, you just need to make sure you're doing all you can. You know what I mean? Make sure you're doing all you can
Um, I'm sorry if this video about dopamine has gone on to what I normally talk about, but I think it's where obviously it's playing so much on my mind. It's such a worrying thing that I always seem to, you know, kind of go into what obviously my problems are. But like I say, dopamine, serotonin. You know, there's other ones that I can't honestly can't remember the actual name of them, but there's quite. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. But they've all, you know, they all come about by our ability to obviously engage in, if you like, you know, going outside, walking, doing all these different things, and also by the foods that we eat, and like I say, by sunlight. So we need to, if you like, do a little bit of everything. Yeah, my dad used to say to me years ago. My dad was a lovely man and a very clever man, and I can remember my dad saying. It was usually when I was going out for a drink with my friends that my dad would say to me, go out, have a good time, but moderation. You know what I mean? He was always, and I think that's what we've got to do in our life. We've got to do things in moderation, and we've got to be eating these foods and doing these activities that are going to free our mind, if you like, of um, these horrible, or in my case, horrible, intrusive, unwanted, and sometimes despicable thoughts, which you just don't want to, you know, which are not you. You know, I know some of the things I worry and obsess about. I know it's not me; it's just my mind playing tricks on me. But we need to fight it with every single source, every single weapon available. I hope you got something out of watching this video. My channel is all about improvement, personal development, like helping people get better on in their lives. But also, I'm doing videos about my OCD and my other things that affect me, and all my videos will be hopefully about helping you in some way, shape, or form. So I do hope that I see you in another video. And if you are watching this and you have got obviously some sort of medical, you know, mental condition or whatever, I really hope you do find a way to recover. But like I say, take a little bit, you know, do things in little steps, and especially look at your diet. That's what I'm doing now. I'm looking at my diet. When the new year comes, I'm going to look to get one of these lamps, and obviously do all what I can to make myself feel better, and more importantly, make myself feel better for my family, because I know when at times in my life when I like now where I ain't feeling that great. But obviously, your family and your circle of friends are obviously these are the people that you care about. So for me, that's again that's a frustration for me, because it upsets me when I'm not how I want to be, which is why we've got to do everything we can to make ourselves feel better. Thanks for watching. Like I say, please like my video. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. And yeah, thanks very much. Bye bye.